Hello Pilates team, hope you are feeling good and well. As you can see, I have come straight down onto the mat today, and that's exactly what I would like you to do. Today's session is going to be quite mindful, so I want us really thinking about all the moves that we're going to be doing. It's much slower paced, no fancy equipment, nothing needed at all, just yourselves and your mat and the next 30 minutes or so that you're going to spend with me. So make sure you're comfortable, okay? Have layers nearby. If you're feeling a little chilly, you can always take them off if you need to as we go through. But I want you to start just by coming and sitting down however you're comfortable, okay? So you might want your legs out front, you can go cross legs like I am. It doesn't matter as long as you're sitting well. So think about really lengthening up and growing a little bit taller out of the crown of your head, sitting up nice and tall, and then you're just going to relax your hands or the backs of your wrists down onto your knees or down by your sides. Think about just gently opening up the chest and just releasing those shoulders. And here I just want us to spend a minute or so just focusing in on our breath, just a really nice gentle start to the session. So if you want to close your eyes here, then by all means do. And just start by taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then exhaling through the mouth. Imagine that you're blowing out through a straw. And I'm not going to over talk it, okay? I just want you to fall into your own natural rhythm of breathing, but really try and think about making the most of those breaths. So taking it from the shallow breath up in our chest, so some nice, deep, big belly breathing really does make a difference to just how you're feeling at the end of this session. I want you feeling a lot more relaxed and like you can move better than you can when you've arrived on your mat today with me. So a couple of nice, just keep on going with those nice deep inhale and exhale. Every time you exhale, just think about gently pressing those shoulders down but keeping that chest lifted. Good stuff. Perfect. From here, we're just going to come into some nice seated stretches. So if you were cross-legged, just want you to bring your legs out in front of you. So keep that length in your spine, so don't start rolling those shoulders through. We're going to extend the left leg, foot is flexed on that left leg, and the right leg we're just going to bring across, okay? And you can use your hands here to just guide it in towards you. You can lift your glutes up off your mat a little bit here. So you're squeezing it in towards you. As you do so, your chest is opening up, so it's really helping to keep us sitting up nice and tall here. Then with the left arm, I want you wrapping it around as you turn across to your right. So you get a nice stretch in through your neck, down through the side of your body. And you just use the crook of your elbow to help keep you upright. Imagine that if we let go, it'd be easy to slouch. Use that crook to pull you up to a nice tall seated position. Keep that foot flexed on that extended leg, okay? Good, and we're just going to hold here. 2 and 1. Just turn around, release that leg. So we're going to switch it over. So now the right leg is extended, that foot is flexed. You're bringing your knee in. Again, you shift your weight through your glutes a little bit as you get into position. Hug it in to begin with. Just find that you're comfortable. And then take your right arm across and turn it around to your left hand side. So you're trying to look over your left shoulder. And if you're a little bit tight through your back and your shoulders, if you've been doing a lot of carrying or lifting or just being seated at a desk, this is a really lovely one to do just to get that little bit of mobility. And keep that foot flexed on the extended leg. Good. 2 and 1. Return back. We can unhook your feet now, and I want you to bring both knees out wide, soles of your feet together. So you can use your hands to shimmy them in a little bit towards you. So the soles of your feet are flat together, and then you're going to use your elbows to push your knees down and apart. So we're really opening up this pelvis area here. You can lean into it. So just gently pushing apart. We don't want to force anything, but hopefully you'll feel a nice stretch in that kind of inner thigh, up into the hips, and you can just hold it here, just gently pressing your body weight forwards into your elbows pushing those knees nice and wide. Good. And again, just come back to your breath here. So nice deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. Good stuff. We'll just hold this a little longer. 2 and 1, and then just gently come back up to sitting. So I'm going to swivel around. So we're going to make our way down to lying. We're doing quite a lot of moves on our back today. Okay guys, so do make sure that you've got a nice comfortable surface. So swivel around to sitting. Then I just want you to bring your hands onto the back of your thighs. If you're not comfortable coming down this way, then of course you can roll over onto your side and come down, okay? But just walk your feet in slightly closer towards your bottom, a gentle hold behind the backs of your thighs, and you're going to use that as a little support as you roll yourself back down onto your mat. Good, just nice and gently, trying not to suddenly flop down onto the mat there. Good. Let's walk those feet in a little bit further. Reposition everything. So adjust your shoulders so that the back of your shoulders are really relaxed down onto the floor. You're not holding them in towards your chest. So let them relax down. You can either have the back of your hands or the palms onto your mat. Feet should be parallel with your hips and your knees, okay? And from here, we're just going to start with a couple of little pelvic tilts. So that really small little movement. Bottoms don't lift off your mat here. Just rolling, imagining that you've got that little marble resting on your pubic bone. You're trying to roll it down into your belly button. Good. And then you're rolling away. So as you roll away, little gap at the base of your spine and between your mat. Good. So a couple here. Let's go 2 and 1, and then just come back to somewhere in between those two ranges so that you're not tilting upwards and you're not tucking under. Good. Okay, keeping the arms on the floor, keeping those shoulders and that chest drawn open nice and wide. We're just going to start off with some single leg marches, and I want you to really, again, think about the movements here. So this is a much slower pace. I really want us being mindful of each movement that we make, okay? That's where we're going to really make them work for us. So we're going to take our right foot off the floor. We're going to bring the right knee up in line with your hip. And if you want to, you can hold out your right hand, palm of your hand here, just to make sure that you're not tapping in any further. We release and we come back in. So we're just tapping down gently with our toe and then coming back in. Nice, gentle, easy one to start us off with. But what I want you thinking about is trying not to let that pelvis tilt and rock too much. So we're staying on that one side, the left foot is down on the floor to support us. So the movement is coming from hinging the hip and bringing that knee up in line with our hip. If we start to bring it in further, our pelvis is going to start to rock and tilt towards our rib cage. So you can keep that hand there as a little guide if you want to, and nothing else. There should be no other movement going on. So think about doing up that belt on your waist a little bit tighter. So you've got that nice corset or the belt that's wrapped around you. Your abdominals you can feel like they're switched on a little bit here, okay? And we're just tapping through. Tapping through. Good. No other movement. So focusing on keeping the rest of our body really still. Lovely. We're going 4 and 3. Good. Let's go 2 more. And 1. Let's release that foot back down to the floor. Take a little shimmy side to side with your hips if you want to. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the left hand side. So make sure that you're using your right leg as a support. Bring the left hand up just for the first few if you want to make sure that that knee's not coming in too far. And then up and tip. So the rib cage isn't moving. Chest is pointed up. Hips are completely stable. All the movements coming just from this single leg marching tap. Good. Keep going here. And once you really start thinking about your movement like this, it becomes so much easier to focus, but it's really easy to do it just kind of moving your leg and the rest of your body rocks and you're not really paying much attention to what's going on. We're really trying to focus in Good. 3 more. 2 more. Good. 1 more. That foot comes down, and again, just give your hips a little wriggle, couple of little pelvic tilts if you want to, side to side. So now we're going to attempt to go into them by alternating and coming up into tabletop position. So you're going to lift both knees up off the floor. If this is too much, then I want you coming into them alternating, but putting one foot down and then putting the other foot up, okay? So you can absolutely do it just with the changeover like this. If not, come up into tabletop, keep that core switched on. So think about just gently engaging those abdominal muscles, and then we keep the legs elevated as we come into our tap downs, okay? So have a play around. If that feels like it's too much, if your lower back starting to lift off the floor, or your tummy muscles feel like they're straining, then take it back down, keeping one foot on the floor at all times, just alternately. Good, guys. Again, making sure that that leg only comes up, that knee only comes up in line with your hip. Perfect. And breathe. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees into your chest. Have a little rock through here. Lovely stuff. Good. Go in both directions just to make sure that lower back feels nice and massaged. And then float both feet back down to the floor. Good. From here, make sure that your hands, your fingertips are spread. And then I want you to bring your heels in a little bit closer towards those fingertips. So you might not quite be able to reach them, but you might, if you do a little shimmy side to side, just be able to get your fingertips to the back of the heels. Again, make sure your heels and knees and hips are all in parallel. Arms relaxed down by your side, keep those shoulders relaxed. We're going to start rolling up into a bridge, okay? So draw that belly button back into your spine and start rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. No rush for any of these movements. Coming up as high as you can. We're going to hold for 2. And then I want you really slowing this movement down as you roll back down. So I know I always talk about trying to come down vertebrae by vertebrae, and it's difficult to do because it's not the way our spine necessarily wants to move straight away. So really slowing that movement down, all the way down to the bottom. Good. Again, draw that belly button in towards your spine as you peel up. Good. Push those hips up, really stand into those feet. A little squeeze through the glutes for 1 and 2. And then slowly, slowly, slowly coming back down. And you can let the tension go in your tummy as you roll back down. Good, almost thinking about melting into your mat. Perfect. All the way down. Good. We're going to do that twice more. So re-engage, belly button to spine. Slowly peeling up, pushing into your feet, evenly through both feet. So don't lean too much onto one side. Come up, lift those hips. So you're all the way up as far as you can. You might be up to your bra strap level in your back or up further onto your shoulders. And then releasing and relaxing as you roll back down. Good stuff. We're going to do 1 more. So let's inhale. Lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Keep inhaling all the way to the top. Good. And then exhale. Release your breath. Release your spine. Release your core as you roll back down, all the way back down to the floor. Good. Come into a couple of little pelvic tilts here. Perfect, guys. Staying in this position, so relax those hands back down again. We're going to roll up into our bridge once more. So let's do that to start off with. We're rolling up, 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 as high as you can. Squeeze those glutes. Now we're going to hold it here, and if you can, you're going to come into a single leg march. So we're going to bring our right leg up, knee above the hip. Release back down to the floor. Weight transfers to the right leg as we bring the left leg, knee above the hip. Weight back down to the floor without trying to dip the hips. So it's tricky. If it's too much, then I want you to instead rock up onto your tiptoes and release your heels. Rock up onto your tiptoes and release your heels. So you've got 2 different options here. Again, as always, play around, see what you think is working for you. Remember, these workouts are here for you to do as many times as you like, guys. So you can always come back to these and alter them and change what you do. Absolutely fine, good. So either keep rocking up to the tiptoes, lowering down to the heels, or keep alternating this little march through. Good, we've got one more each side. One. And one. Good stuff. Now release and relax and slowly roll and melt yourself back down to your mat, all the way down. Lovely. Let's bring those legs in. You can bring your shoulders up off the floor here if you want to curl into a little ball and have a rock through. So we're really working all the way from the bottom of our feet all the way up to our shoulders at the moment, along this whole chain. So you'll feel your thighs working in those bridges. You'll feel movement through your spine, but also, of course, working pelvic floor and core as we go. Okay, release your feet back down. Again, hands relaxed down by your side. We're going to roll up into a bridge once more. So again, squeeze that core back, squeeze that belly button back to your spine. Lift, 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 lift the hips. We're going to stay here this time. So really squeeze through the glutes. Make sure that your hips are parallel, okay? One is dipping down on one side. And then if you can, I want you to lift those arms up. Bring them up to chest height. Fingertips are pointing to the ceiling here. Keep those hips lifted though. Good. Keep breathing through here. Can you feel your thighs really starting to feel this hold? Good, we're just staying here in this hold with the arms. We're sending energy, okay, all the way to the fingertips. But don't let those arms go floppy. Really shoot them up towards your ceiling. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly rolling back down. As we roll back down, we release our arms all the way back down to the bottom. Once your bottom hits the floor, I just want you to lift your shoulders. Little gap between your chin and your chest. You're looking directly through your knees. And we're just going to hold here, okay? So again, just bring your awareness to your tummy, what's going on. Should feel like there's a bit more tension here now. We're just going to hold. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Good. 2 and 1. Release the shoulders. Roll back down to the mat. Rolling up once more into your bridge. So lift, 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 lift those hips. Squeeze those glutes. Press in through your feet. Try and get up as high as you can, guys. When you're ready, and if you feel able to, you're going to release your arms all the way up to the ceiling. This time we're going to add in a little bit of movement. So we're going to drop one arm back and one arm forwards, coming into scissor arms. So one arm extends overhead, the other comes down towards the mat by your thighs. And we're going to alternate through. Nice and slow movement here again. We're trying to stop any kind of rocking through the rest of our body. So you want to keep those that pelvis, those hips, as stable as possible. So you really got to squeeze those glutes and push into your mat to stop any movement going on here. It is a challenge. Good. Keep breathing as you do this. Woo. I can definitely feel my glutes and my thighs are fired up here. Let's go 3 and 2. Good. One more here. Perfect. Keep those hips lifted as both arms come back through center, and then release as you roll down. Nice and slowly, melting into your mat. Should feel like a nice little massage. And then lift your shoulders. Exhale. Look directly through your legs. Gently bring that tension back into your core. Good. How are we doing, guys? Breathe it through here. We're going 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Relax it back down. Bring those knees into the chest. And again, have a little rock side to side. Come into a little ball. Come into circles. Whatever you want to do here. Good. We've got one more move that I want us to do whilst we're laid down on our backs, okay? So when you're ready, again, release your feet, get comfortable, Okay, again, if you want to take off any layers here, you can. A couple of little pelvic tilts. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Okay, relax the arms down by your side once more. So from here, we're going to come into our 100. So we've done these a couple of times and I'm going to give you lots of different options to do. So take a nice deep inhale to begin with. Good, then as you exhale, I want us lifting the shoulders, scooting our fingertips along the mat towards our heels. So this is where you've got the options. Option number one is that you're just going to stay here. So it's just the move that we did at the end of our bridge. Option number two is that you're going to lift those arms just a couple of inches off the floor, palms are facing down to the mat, and we're going to pulse through. This is option number two. Keep that little gap between your chin and your chest, so you're looking just over your knees probably. Option number three is that you can bring a single leg off the floor, knee as always in parallel and in line with your hip. And then option number, however many options we're on, is to bring both feet off the floor, so you're coming into tabletop and you're pulsing through. Now this can feel a little bit intense. This one's intense on the abdominals, okay, but all of them can feel a little bit intense on your neck. So if at any point you want to stop, relax it back down, come into a little neck rotation side to side, then do, okay? It's just not a natural position to be in. It's not that you don't, not a natural position, it's just not a position we're used to being in. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Try not to jerk your chin forwards there, okay? So keep a little tuck in your chin, a little gap, fist-sized gap underneath your chin and your chest, and keep pulsing through. You can feel it, right? Again, breathe, relax down at any point you need to. You're not proving anything to anybody, okay? This is your workout, so it has to be what feels good for you. Good. Amazing stuff. We're going 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the neck back down. Release your feet to the floor. I want you to take your arms nice and wide like a scarecrow, and then turn your necks towards the right hand side. So now you're looking towards your outstretched right fingertips. Good, just hold it here. When you're ready, come back through centre and rotate across onto the opposite side. How lovely does that feel? Hold it here. Good, and then back through centre, lovely. Okay, guys, we're going to change position a little bit now, okay, just to mix things up. So you can either roll onto your side, or you can have your arms back down by your side and use them to just press yourself up. So you come up onto your forearms, you extend your leg, and then you push up onto your wrists. Anyway, it's fine, just don't rush that getting up, because we've had quite a bit of time down on our backs there. We're going to turn around, we're going to come all the way around onto all fours now. So I'm going to swing my legs around, bring my palms of my hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You know the setup here, okay? Nice flat backs. And again, just gently thinking about lifting your belly button up towards the ceiling. From here, I want to imagine, we've done this one a while ago, and it's a really hard one to demonstrate for me over the screen, so I'm going to do my best to talk you through it. I want you to imagine that the heel of the palm of your hand and your knee are drawing together, but you're not moving along the mat. So as you start to squeeze together, you're going to be increasing the tension in your core. So it's almost like a lift that's kind of going up. So start drawing in without moving off of your mat, drawing in, squeezing together. Good. And when you get to the point that you feel that that's the maximum you can do, maybe your arms are getting a bit of a wobble going on, I just want you to hold that tension there. So keep that flat back, keep pulling in, drawing in towards each other. So you're bringing these two parts of your body, pelvis and the rib cage, drawing up towards each other. Good. 2 and 1, and release. Okay, rock your hips side to side. So I want you to really notice the difference between when you're relaxed and when you're bringing that tension in. So have a little rock through, whatever you need to do here, and then we're going to go again. So again, nice wide fingertips, okay? You've got a good solid base to work off of. Start drawing in towards each other. Pull, pull, pull in towards each other. Heels of your hands, knees coming closer and closer to closer. I don't know if it's showing on the camera, but I've got a real wobble going on in my arms now. So I'm going to hold it here. Good, keep holding that tension. 2 and 1, and then release. And feel the difference, feel that nice kind of let go of everything as you release. Again, just move your hips, move your wrists, whatever you want to do. Good. We're going to do this twice more through, okay? So coming back in, lift up that belly button to begin with, and then start drawing in towards each other. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you're going to lift your toes off the mat. It's a little bit less of a base. Good. Keep squeezing. Oh my goodness, it gets harder and harder with each one, right? Good. You've got it, guys. I know that you know what you're doing here. So just pull in towards each other. If you're not sure, please drop me a message. 2, 1. Release. Good. This one always makes me laugh because I just think if anybody's watching this, just through the window at the studio or anything, they must think that I'm not doing anything at all. But we know, guys, we know exactly what's happening. Okay, final one. When you're ready, inhale, draw together, lift those toes if you can. Good, 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 good. Keep that in-breath coming, keep squeezing together. You've got it. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale and release. Send your bottom back towards your heels. Walk your forehead down towards the mat. So let's come into a lovely shake off here, stretch off here. This should feel lovely. Good. 2 and 1, coming back up into that all four positioning again. This time I want you to flex your toes, okay? So from here, we're going to push off into a little hover plank. So you're lifting your knees an inch or so off the floor. Option 1 is that you lift and then you lower. Option 2 is that you lift and you hold. Your arms are going to be feeling a little bit wobbly from that first set that we've just done. So just keep trying to make sure that that weight is evenly distributed. You should feel it in both hands and both toes. Good. We're going 3, 2, and 1. Release the knees, unflex the feet. Walk the hands forwards as you come back into child's pose. And then from here, you're going to push up. You're going to push your hips forwards. We're going to come into a 3/4 plank. So your hands drop in front of your shoulders, your hips and your knees drop down. So you're trying to get a fairly straight line from shoulders to hips to knees. Good. From here, we're going to flex the toes again. Keep lifting that belly button up. We're going to push off one leg, push off the other leg, knee to the mat, knee to the mat. So we're alternating from 3/4 plank to full plank. This is a really lovely way to do it. If you're building up to a full plank, we just go for a second at a time, but it's not easy, right? So even if you normally do a full plank, we've really warmed up those core muscles now. So this one should feel like a challenge. Good. So just keep alternating through, up, up, down, down. Good stuff. You've got it. If it gets too much at any point, drop back into that 3/4 plank and just hold. Good. 2 and 1. Send heels, bottom back towards your heels. Come back into child's pose once more. Whew. Stretch it through. We've got one more move that we're going to be doing in this all four positioning. So just take a moment. And then when you're ready, push back up onto all fours. So do make sure that those wrists come back underneath your shoulders, okay? Knees underneath hips. Flat back, lift the belly, you know what to do. Flex the toes. So we're going to come back into that little hover plank. This time, I want you to tap one leg out to the side. You're going to hold. Good. Come back in. You can either release, come back down to the mat, and then tap out on the other side and hold, or you can go straight in. Good. So you can either straight alternate from one to the next, or add that little hover, that little knees to mat each time. Good. As you switch across and you extend your leg, make sure that that other hip is staying over the knee that's hovering. There's not too much rocking going on. Good. Breathe. For 3. For 2. Last one on this side. And release the knees. Good. Okay, guys. We've got some lovely stretches coming up. So let's just come back one more time. Into child's pose. You can take your knees a little bit wider if you want to. Whatever feels nice. You can go for wide knees, forearms down to the floor, or you can go narrow legs, fingertips extended. Just take a moment here, come back to your breath. There's an intense little set there, so hopefully you're feeling like you can feel there's been some magic going on in your core. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to push back. We're going to spin around onto our back, so just back to where we started. So let's swivel the legs around. Again, you can come onto your side, or you can use your hands around the back of your thighs to just ease you down. Whatever feels nice for you. Okay, walk your feet in towards your bottom. Bent knees. Arms are going to open up nice and wide, just like a scarecrow. And then we're going to roll the knees, both of the knees, down to the right hand side, keeping those arms straightened out across the chest. Good, just come down as far as you're comfortable with. You should get a nice diagonal stretch across the front of your torso, so across some of those abdominal muscles that we've been working, as well as a lovely big chest stretch, which feels nice after that little plank set we just did. Good, close your eyes here if you can, hold the stretch. Lovely, when you're ready on your next inhale, bring those knees back through centre, keep the arms wide, and then exhale, release your knees down onto the left hand side, good. Perfect stuff, so just enjoy these stretches. Might feel nice in your lower back as well. Good, come back to some nice, deep, full kind of belly breathing. Perfect, bring those knees back up through centre. Keep the arms wide. You're going to slide your heels away from you so you've got nice straight legs. You're going to point your toes and you're going to sweep your arms all the way up, overhead, pointed, nice long fingers so that you've got a nice full body stretch here. Lovely. Whew. This feels nice. Stretch out here, make yourself as long as possible. Feel that stretch through the rib cage, all the way down to those pointed toes. Up through your armpits, all the way into your fingers. Good, and then release. You're going to bring your knees in towards your chest. Use your hands to just help bring them in. And then you're going to turn your knees out to the side and bring the soles of your feet together. From here, you can lift your shoulders up off the floor. You can kind of shimmy yourself in, just gently squeezing around the ankles, okay? Again, you can use the crooks of your elbows to come into the sides of your knees, and you're just going to come into a little rock back and forth. Little happy baby. It's a nice little kind of lower back massage here. I always feel you can't help but smile doing this one. It's such a kind of basic feel good happiness, because I think it does remind us of when our baby's a little unhappy, right? That little rock through. Good. So just rocking through. Perfect. 2 and 1. Keep the shoulders lifted. Bring those knees back together. Extend your legs straight if you want to. If they're a bit tight along the hamstrings, then keep a little micro bend in your knees. Toes are pointed. Just gently pulling around the backs of your thighs to help lift your shoulders out. And then you're going to flex the feet, point the toes. Flex the feet, point the toes. Lovely stuff. Feels good. Last little stretch, guys, before we return to sitting. Good. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Release the feet to the floor. Use your hands if you want to help pull you back up, or roll over onto your side. How are we feeling? Let's come back to sitting. Nice and tall. Lengthen through the spine. Release and relax those shoulders. Open up the chest, just like we did at the start. You're going to bring the backs of your hands just onto your knees. Close your eyes, and I just want us to finish off by coming back to the breathing, just like we did at the start. So let's inhale through the nose. Good, and then exhale out through that straw. Keep blowing all that last breath away. Again, inhale, really feeling your ribcage expand. Breathing all the way, not just up here in your chest, but all the way into your belly. And exhaling. Good, keep going. Lovely stuff. When you're ready, just slowly blinking your eyes back open. You can give your leg a little wriggle side to side, or a little roll through if you want to. And we are done. I always say at the start of these sessions, it's going to be about 30 minutes, and then I really get into the zone. So I think that one may have been a bit more like 40 minutes, but really nice just to take some time and really focus on just a few different moves. But to do them and to do them well. So like I said at the start, I do hope that you're now feeling a little bit more relaxed, and that you can move just a little bit better than you did when you first arrived on your mat here with me today. Guys, as always, let me know how you get on. Any questions that you've got on any of the moves, any techniques, anything that you want to know, please do ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you all again next week for some more fitness Pilates. Take care, team.